Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Candy Coated Conversations with your girl Candace. And I have joining me up on the panel right now, Miss Fit. Hey, Miss Fit, how are you today? This
Hello.
fine Sunday.
Hi. What's up? What's up? I'm doing good.
Hey,
How about yourself?
oh, cannot complain. Hey, Coco Drips, how are you this evening or afternoon, rather? Look, I'm getting ahead of myself. Hey, Coco. Okay, you guys, look, we need it. And let's say, hey, Star
Hey,
Olivia.
hello.
We
Hello.
Oh, and hey, Mama Coco. Is that Mama Coco over there?
Hello. Hi,
Hello
Queen.
there. So nice to see you.
Oh my goodness. How are you?
Good. Oh,
Wonderful.
yes. So you guys, we have a little bit of a deep conversation here today. I'm hoping it's going to be deep cuz it's very alarming. Just being a black woman. And it gets even more alarming if you are a mother to a young black woman. Hey, Lady Couture, how are you? Feel free to click the link to join the conversation, you guys. We always have an open panel. And so here we have another case of a young black woman, a Birmingham, Alabama resident, young woman, 20 years old, already a mother herself, killed by friends or unalived. Let me start by saying unalived.
No.
Yes. So I guess this happened. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. So that we can discuss it. So I'm just going to go over some facts of the case. But this is just very alarming on all levels. So I'm going to share my screen so that we're all caught up on what's going on. Welcome, Deborah Briscoe, Witches Brew, Janelle. Hello, 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 you guys. So I'm going to show my screen so that we can all be up to date on this latest case. Um, just very alarming. Okay. So I'm going to read over a couple of things here. So, mind you, um, they made the eighth arrest. This is eight people involved in unaliving this young woman. So this is a press release from the Birmingham Police Department. So go into this. The Birmingham Police Department reports detectives have obtained an arrest warrant for an eighth suspect in connection to the unaliving of Mahogany Jackson on Monday, February 26, 2024. Here, let me let someone else up on the stage here. Hey, Deja. Welcome to the stage, Deja. Okay, so it says the suspect has been identified as Ariana Robinson, 23, of Hueytown, Alabama. With assistance from the community, detectives were able to identify Ariana as a suspect in the early stages of the investigation. As the investigation progressed, detectives presented case information to the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office on Friday, March 1st. Detectives obtained an arrest warrant for Ariana Robinson for felony unaliving and kidnapping. Ariana is in the custody of the Jefferson County, held under no bond. So all these suspects are being held without bond, thankfully. So it goes on, and so here's a little her picture. There she is there. The Birmingham Police Department reports detectives have obtained arrest warrants for seven suspects in connection to the unaliving of Mahogany Jackson on Monday, February 26, 2024. Mahogany Jackson was discovered pew-pewed. I hate these little things that we have to do for YouTube, and killed and unalived in the 1700 block of Laurel Avenue. With assistance from the community, detectives were not only able to locate Mahogany Jackson's body, but detectives took seven suspects responsible for Mahogany's unaliving into custody within 48 hours of the investigation. On Wednesday, February 28, 2024, Birmingham police detectives presented case information to the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. After an assessment of the information, detectives obtained arrest warrants for the following suspects. So, Giovanni Clapp. Um, Here's a list: Blair Green, you guys, a Tasia Lewis, a Francis Harris, Sanaya McCall, Jeremiah McDowell, and a Brandon Pope, and the eighth person being this Ariana Robinson. All these, I mean, these guys, they're being charged with some of the things they're being charged with are second degree assault, um, unaliving and sodomy, capital murder, kidnapping, um, things of this nature. And here are their pictures with all of the arrests that they made. And, they say that this is just a horrendous case. And sadly, these people, like, you clearly to me have to have mental issues, but they even videotaped everything that they did to this young woman.
What?
Yes, they videotaped it. So let's go on to other information here. I'm going to share this one because just so we can get the full scope of the story. It says Alabama police find a missing woman unalived. 8 people are charged in connection to her unaliving. A 20-year-old woman reported missing Sunday in Alabama after she sent a message to her family saying she was being held hostage, has been found unalived on a roadside in Birmingham. The victim, identified as Mahogany Jaquise Jackson of Jasper, Alabama, was found in southwest Birmingham by a passerby who called 911 around 2:19 a.m. Monday, police said. When officers arrived on the scene, they observed the victim lying unresponsive on the side of the road, suffering from an apparent gunshot wound. 8 people, 4 men and 4 women, have been arrested in connection to Jackson's unaliving, according to Birmingham police. They all face a number of charges, which include capital murder, unaliving, felony unaliving, first degree sodomy, and first degree kidnapping. Um, they're currently being held in the Jefferson County Jail with no bond. It was revealed on Wednesday in a Wednesday press conference by Birmingham police that the suspects filmed portions of the crime and the victim was friends and acquaintances with them. The facts of this case are deplorable and sickening, said Birmingham Police Chief Scott Thurman. It says on Thursday, February 29th, family and friends of Jackson gathered to remember a life cut tragically short. A candlelight vigil was held at the apartment complex where she went missing. According to AL.com and other outlets, there were 100 people in attendance and many were asked to bring pink balloons. So this is a picture here of people gathered in her remembrance. So it says, when was Mahogany Jackson reported missing? Jackson was declared a missing person by the Birmingham Police Department around 11:15 p.m. Sunday. Police said that Jackson was last seen the previous day in a black shirt and blue jeans with a blonde wig. They said that Jackson had texted a family member earlier in the day around 7:30 a.m. and has not been seen or heard from since. It says Jackson was being held hostage, family says. Meanwhile, Jackson's mother, Gail Maddox, in a post on Facebook on Sunday around 3:15 p.m., said that her daughter texted her in the morning saying she was being held hostage. Maddox said that her daughter sent her details of location and asked her to send the police. Ugh, this is just. Uh-oh. Hold on a second, you guys. There we go. So, this really is just the uh-oh. Here, yeah, we have to get into this. So, let me just take a moment just to welcome people to the chat. And yeah. So, Lady Couture, hey, Monique Ming, Deja, Worthy Family Channel, Audra, Truth Will Make You Free, and Joni, you guys, welcome to the chat. So, we're just having this discussion here because, it's what do you guys think about this? I I I'm just alarmed at the fact that this seems to be happening at a rapid pace with young black women, with people that they know, people that they call their friends, and then this is happening to them. Hey, that's what they said. Hey, Jacqueline, you guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. So, what had you guys heard about this case? It just happened in the last few days. Have you guys heard about this?
I haven't heard about it, Candy. This is a tragedy. This is sad. This is sick. I don't understand what this ploy or this plot is. it seemed like it's a dark ass spirit that's coming for us, and we gotta we gotta pray this devil away. This is crazy. And then you don't even know it. Apparently, she didn't know it. She trusts him enough to go along, to be around.
Yes. These are people that you call friends. And then after we get into this, oh my goodness, Deborah Briscoe said, hold on, let me put this comment up. Deborah said, I read it yesterday to my daughter. It was behind tax money. Now that's very
Oh, you got
sinister.
to be kidding me.
Yes.
I know you lying. They did this woman over her income tax
I
money.
know. Hold on. Hold.
Welcome, Stephanie. Stephanie said, hey, Candy, this is the first time I heard about this case. It just happened a few days ago, you guys. And, it's so alarming because this is not like this is happening to um and of course, we don't want this happening to anyone regardless of color, but it seems like it's happening at a rapid pace with black women being attacked and unalived by people that
Right.
they consider their friends. So if you're friends, imagine how easily this can happen to any of us.
Right.
That's what's the scary part, is because these are not strangers. These are people that and that if they invite you somewhere, you're like, oh yeah, I would like to get out, let me go hang out a little bit. So you don't even think twice because you know these people. And then in this case in particular, and the case, you guys remember the case with Shanquella and when they were in Mexico, these are friends. These are other women. These are not just men that are attacking women. These are other women that are participating in these things.
And don't forget about Kanika Jenkins. Been found in the
Kanika Jenkins
freezer.
found in the freezer. You're around with your friends.
Right. Still bogus. They still lying about that.
That's crazy. Um, that's why when a person shows you who they are, you gotta believe them.
Yes, it makes you want to just wrap yourself in a cocoon, stay in your home, and say, no, hell, I can't call anybody a friend because look what can happen. What
Right.
what can happen? These are not strangers. So who do you trust if you know people and and something like this can happen. So let me get back to this right here. So this is something Mahogany Jackson's mother pleads for spread of video showing unalived Alabama woman being tortured, abused to end. We're suffering enough. And isn't this sick? It's just the age of social media. Everyone feels they have the right to show this. Everyone wants to be the first person to go viral. Everyone wants to say, hey, I have access to this information. Let me show you. And with no consideration that these people have families that have to see this and have to deal with this. So
Right.
this is reported on March 1st, one Friday. The family of a young Birmingham woman who was brutally assaulted and unalived by several people is asking for people to stop spreading videos of the gruesome attack online. Police announced on Thursday that 7 people had been arrested in connection with charges of kidnapping, SA, and unaliving of 20-year-old Mahogany Jackson. Jackson went missing on Sunday, February 25th, after sending family members text messages that she was being held hostage at an apartment complex. Birmingham police and her family rushed to Serenity Apartments that morning, but she was nowhere to be found. Police questioned a woman in one unit who Jackson knew. She told authorities Jackson left the apartment earlier but didn't know where she went. That woman was among the 7 people charged with murder. And you see how diabolical they are. The police are questioning you, and of course you're gonna lie, but you're talking to some, oh, I saw her, but I don't know where I went. Then come to find out you was participating in it.
Right.
And
Oh,
the whole time her body somewhere going cold, and they could have been and got to her.
yes. Then early Monday morning, someone found Jackson's body in an illegal dumping site under a mattress. Authorities discovered she had been pew pewed at least one time. Earlier reports show she was found on the roadside. Now, 4 men and 3 women, and then, of course, another woman got arrested. The eighth person are in police custody facing charges for her death. Brandon Pope, 24, Francis Harris, 25, Jeremiah McDowell, 18, were charged with capital unaliving, doing a first-degree kidnapping, and capital unaliving, doing first-degree sodomy. Giovanni Clapp, 23, Blair Green, 25, face felony unaliving charges as well as first degree kidnapping and first degree sodomy. Tasia Lewis, 26, is charged with felony capital unaliving, doing first degree kidnapping. Lewis was the woman police questioned at the apartment complex who claimed she didn't know Jackson's whereabouts. She and Jackson were involved in a reported dispute over something taken from her apartment. Some fight videos circulated online during the time Jackson went missing. Sanaya McCall, 23, is charged with felony unaliving, first degree kidnapping, and first degree sodomy. Ariana Robinson, 23, is charged with felony unaliving and kidnapping. Give me 1 second to let somebody up on Jace Braden. I had a little incident, so you're going to have to wait a minute because I don't know you. And here's somebody else. And yeah, no. Not taking that shit. Y'all were in there that time? Y'all remember what happened? No. Sorry, y'all. Don't let people that I don't know on here. I have to have at least seen you in here before I let you up on the panel. Nope. So So it says Lewis and Clapp also faced a second-degree assault charge for reportedly pistol whipping Jackson. A number of disturbing
What?
videos showing Jackson being physically and sexually SA'd while she was being held against her will were posted online and even sent to her family members. Jackson's mother, Gail Maddox, posted a plea on Facebook asking for people to stop messaging her about those recordings. Please, I'm begging you all, don't send us any videos. We are suffering enough, Maddox wrote. That's my child. Please stop. I can't take it. Isn't that horrible to think that people would do that? In a press
She shouldn't even have had to do that.
right.
That's horrible.
That is, Birmingham Police Chief Scott Thurman said Jackson's unaliving was more heinous than most he had seen during his time as a homicide investigator. The facts of this case are deplorable and sickening, Thurman said. Saddest of all, they were made public by the suspect's decision to videotape portions of this horrific act. It was absolutely disgusting. Investigators haven't released a motive for the crime, but believe they apprehended all the suspects involved in Jackson's murder or unaliving. They also believe all the suspects know each other. AL.com reports that Lewis and Jackson had an ongoing dispute over something previously taken from Lewis's apartment. Thurman said police would be releasing too many details about the unaliving for the family's sake, or wouldn't be releasing too many details about the unaliving for the family's sake, but they know Jackson was SA'd and taken to several different locations during her abduction. The actions displayed by these defendants were barbaric and have no place in society. Jefferson County District Attorney Danny Carr told AL.com. The senseless and inhumane treatment perpetrated on young Mahogany Jackson was very disturbing and violent. Family members hosted a vigil after the charges were announced at the apartment complex where the 20-year-old mother was held captive. Everybody that knew her knew she didn't play, and they knew she was full of love behind all the toughness she had. Jackson's older sister, Jasmine Maddox, told AL.com she had a big heart. So, in addition to, her family, let's keep in mind, this is a young mother. So even her child's life, is forever changed by the actions of these people. And it's just it's a sad state that we're in. Hey Crystal, hey Steelers Diva. Who else did I miss? Crystal. Hey Day Day. So, what do you guys think? And if you're a mother, even if you have sons, not even necessarily, how does this make you feel about what you have to teach your children about friendships? Because you just never know.
it's like who raised them? Like at the end of the day, if you hear the key point, what do you teach your children? What are they teaching their children for them to have that much hate in their heart to do such a not even to do it, but then to record it? Like that shit is demonic. What their parents said? Like how old are they? Like I got so many questions, and at the end of the day, um all you can do is teach your kids to keep their head on a motherfucking swivel, and don't and trust people, like Coco hit it on the head. Trust people to show you who they are, and treat them accordingly.
Right. Hey, what's going on here?
This is sad. I just
Okay,
posted
I'm
it.
seeing something. Okay. Okay, Sade, condolences to you and Tamika. Sade says, everybody keep me and our family in your prayers. Our aunt passed away this morning. My grandma, baby sister. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry to
Definitely
hear that, Sade,
praying.
especially since you guys are dealing with your grandmother herself. So prayers sent, you guys.
Sorry to hear that, Sade.
And it's
Yes.
Yes,
brothers and
pray.
love. People.
Ugh. That we just got to keep everybody lifted in prayer these days. Uh, friends, family, strangers, because uh, everybody is certainly going through it. But yeah, you're definitely right. You have to just kind of teach your children that it's like you want to have trust in people, but you still have to be very, very cautious. Uh, because literally, as soon as we get off of this thing, I'm calling to talk to my daughter. My youngest daughter is going to be 20 on the 25th, and I want her just to always be aware. And it's sad because you want your kids to be able to form good relationships with people and have good friends and things like that. But at the end of the day, it's like, who can you really trust? Hey,
That
Evolving
part.
Media, it's like, who can you really trust?
Well, I think it starts with morals and values in the home because we're just a lot of our kids these days are not being raised with the morals and the values that we were, with our old school parents. They've taken God out of the schools. I mean, it's just sad out here. It's really sad. I really
It
hate to hear all of this.
It really is. And then um the only thing that I can say is good in this recent case is that it seemed like they swiftly caught everyone. But let's move on to, like I said, let's move on to uh our case with Shanquilla Robinson. So now let's see here. Remember, you guys, so she was 25 years old, from Charlotte, North Carolina, and had traveled last fall to Mexico with six quote unquote friends. So it says a widely circulated video appears to show her being beaten by another woman. Remember, these were her friends. And even though this happened in another country, the whole premise is the same. She didn't go there with strangers. She didn't go to Mexico with strangers. This is she didn't go to Mexico and people in that community did this to her. This happened within her group of friends. And
Right.
then it said, so this article here was April 12th, 2023. Federal prosecutors said on Wednesday that they did not have enough evidence to bring charges in connection with the death of an American woman last year in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, in a case that prompted outrage after a video online appeared to show her being beaten by another woman. So these
How could they not have enough evidence when we all watched her being beat to death?
exactly. And just what you said, a widely circulated video that appeared to show Miss Robinson being punched in the head and kicked by a woman during that trip prompted suspicions about her death and triggered an FBI investigation. The authorities did not name the assailant in the video. Like, why? An autopsy and investigation by American authorities found that the available evidence does not support a federal prosecution. The U.S. Attorney's Office said in a statement the FBI and the U.S. Attorney's Office did not elaborate on their findings or answer questions emailed on Wednesday afternoon. It's important to reassure the public that experienced federal agents and seasoned prosecutors extensively reviewed the available evidence and have concluded that federal charges cannot be pursued, the U.S. Attorney's Office says. It was not immediately clear how the decision by federal prosecutors in the United States to not bring charges would affect the investigation by Mexican authorities into what happened. So, this is an unfortunate case because these people or this family lost their child and are going to not get any justice at all. At all.
That's horrible.
Yeah. And so here we have 1 year later. Family continues to fight for justice following Shanquella Robinson's death. So, um, of course, this article is back in October. It says Sunday, October 29th, marked exactly 1 year since Shanquella Robinson passed away while on vacation in Mexico with 6 of her friends. She was 25 years old at the time. So, just can you imagine being this child's mother and knowing that you're never going to get any justice for your child?
Hell no. It's sad as hell.
Yep, that's exactly what we're talking about. Crystal is very, very similar. So I don't know. It's kind of a sombering topic, but I mean, a lot of us are mothers or aunts, or you have friends, and you just need to be aware of your dang self. Um,
So Candy, wait a minute. So they didn't ship them back over there to be prosecuted for this shit? But for this?
no, those people, those people know her friends that are right there in that hometown. Because remember, they went there together. So these are people that are right there in that town, and they know they're sitting there, and they got away with murder.
And the streets quiet about it?
Exactly.
Something ain't right. And
Yep.
allegedly it was going around that the reason why the they got to fighting with her was because she was basically exposing one of them, blowing their cover
Hmm.
because they was originally trans, whatever, and that's the reason why they were so mad at her. Is because she was I guess you know how they try to do clock. That's what it is. That's what they call it, clock. She was unclocking somebody that thought they didn't get clocked for being a trans, allegedly.
So you saying like she tried to
and
expose
and
somebody?
that's even more deplorable.
Right.
So suppose okay, so what you're seeing in the case of Shanquella Robinson is that somebody that is transgender was trying to uh conceal that from somebody, and basically she was
Pretty,
exposing the truth.
and she pretty much that's
Yeah, that's what happened.
allegedly what happened.
Wow. So Evolving Media said, I can't believe that they didn't get locked up with all that evidence. It's unheard of. It's definitely crazy. And so let's see. Here, Steelers Diva said no, they are still roaming around the streets of Charlotte, working and everything, allegedly. Now, that I'm sorry, y'all. If it was my child, I wouldn't be able to take that. Yeah, it would be a whole lot of other things going on. I ain't even gonna say nothing else. But it's gonna be a whole lot of other things going on because that's literally
That
playing in my face
that
about my child.
Right. They wouldn't be able to live comfortably in the same city with me.
At all.
Rock
At all.
orange.
Yeah. Me too, Deborah. So,
Green dot suit. I'm trying to tell you.
so okay, well, with this going on, okay, for instance, Deja, how would this make you move? Like say you have a group of friends and there does do things like this make you want to move a different way?
Yes, it do. And it's so crazy that this is a subject because last night I had went out, right?
Mhm.
And the people I was out with, fiance, his cousin, his girl, but his girl had beef with people inside of the place that we was at. So
Mhm.
on my end, I had to see who I was a friend to because I know who she was interacting with. And I had to choose. I was on tequila sunrises and stuff, and eating chicken wings and stuff, dipping it in hot sauce, trying to figure out what if this go down because these two girls were friends, and it's always about a dude around my
Mhm.
generation, and they were friends, like have pictures together. Unfortunately, the girl fell for her dude, and she, the top jump right now. So the one that I was with, like if she want to fight, she want to fight. If she don't, she need to shut up. But a lot of girls are mouthy. They all bark and no bite. So it's like they were friends. No, they didn't. They probably went on trips. Yeah, there was a trip picture. She showed me the picture. We was in. I forgot what state they was in. But these are people that we take pictures with and we call each other friends. Hey friend and all that
Mhm.
stuff. And it's not real at all. And nothing happened last night. Nobody went to jail or anything. But I had called her today, by the way, because that's just because of the cancer in me. Because I wanted to know what her mindset was at regarding make it long story short, the girl that was interacting with the other girl, the girl said, "I don't like your boyfriend, cousin, new girlfriend." That's exactly what she said to me, right by the
Mhm.
bathroom. And they so brave, they brave, and it depends on what type of people they around, if they gonna bust a move or bust a grape in the Welch's fruit fight. You know what I'm saying? But I made it home safely. But this was going on. But I don't go out like that. So my mama turned that bitch into Afghanistan. So I just try to be respectful for my own self. It's just terrible.
Yeah, but it was just the fact that you were out there to have a good time and you have to make these decisions. Okay, if something goes down, who's here, who's around,
Yes, I had to
Yeah,
be
who
aware of
goes
my
out?
environment. Like, I know
Yeah.
what. Yeah, I don't like
You
being in places like that.
yeah,
Then,
yeah,
uh,
that make you feel like, dang, I could have stayed home and made me a tequila sunrise.
listen, this made me think about I should have drove myself. I hate getting in the car with people. Like, when I'm ready to go, my ass be ready to go. I don't like
That
waiting
part.
and all that and stuff. So that's what really had my back against the wall, and I couldn't breathe because I had to wait until like people were ready to leave, which was like 2, 3 in the morning.
Yeah. Hey,
But yeah.
voracious one. Hey, Sharon.
It's sad. It's very sad.
Yes.
But my
Oh,
motto, when I work is I don't go to work to make friends. I go to work to make ends. And a lot of people just, be laughing, but I be so serious because once you hear that friend word, you would think, what other people know what that mean for real, and they don't.
no. Mm-mm. Sharon said she heard about this case. I heard about this case. It broke my heart to hear her mother crying. Yes, especially when reports that people are sending her video of things happening to her child. Like I don't even understand why people like send that stuff to the police. You don't send that stuff to someone's mother.
It's just evil and demonic, like Misfit said.
Hey, Shanti. Yeah, it really is. And it's sad that it's just a sad state because friendships are not how they used to be. And, literally a friend can cost you your life these days. And you don't even see it coming. You don't even know what it's about.
That
You don't know anything. And then it's not even a case like in the case of this young lady. It's like you're there 4 women participated in this? 4 other women participated in this, unaliving this young woman. Deborah says, that's what I've been telling my baby. As long as she's been working, you are there to work, not make friends. Yes, because literally,
Period.
when y'all, especially you, these are friends or co-workers and things like that, you don't know what they go home to. Like literally, if it's somebody, you have to think about everything. I don't know what type of home they come from. Just like Coco was saying, we don't know what type of environment these people are in. Look, Shanti, get up here. You have an 18-year-old. What are you telling your 18-year-old about judging friends and who to hang around and stuff like that? Because these young ladies are out here getting unalived by people that they considered friends. These your homegirls.
I know when the situation happened with Shanquilla Robinson, Riley was a little young. I think she was around 8 when that happened, but I still had to sit her down and have a conversation with her about, friends and what real friends are and how real friends treat you, and to be aware because that the Shaquilla Robinson situation broke my heart, especially
Yeah.
having a daughter and knowing how friendly my daughter is. And yeah, that broke my heart.
Yeah, especially when you have to think to yourself that I have to basically teach my child not to trust anyone.
Right.
And that, of course you have to teach your child that you can't, trust everyone, things like. But when you have to really double down on it can be kind of scary. You think about what type of fear you're instilling into your children that is unnecessary and that you hate to put there. So okay, Steelers Diva said there was a young lady in Pittsburgh who worked with a friend, quote unquote friend. The friend heard her on the phone asking her grandma to come and take her to the bank to cash her income tax. When it was time for the girl to get off work, she was followed because the friend called some people, followed the girl home, and unalived her for her income tax. I think I heard about that story.
Damn.
I think I heard about that. And Voracious One heard about that too. She said, yes, at Family Dollar on Penn Avenue. Brittany Nicole said, hey y'all, happy Sunday. I just caught up. This is the prime reason I don't hang out. I only go places with family, and I'm even selective with family. Yeah, because family can get you in some mess too. Family can get you in some mess too. But you're definitely right. You have to be very selective about who you spend your time with, who you call your friend, whose home you go to, because you just never know. You
It's
just
that
never
hidden
know.
candy. It's that hidden ulterior motives, hidden just whatever it is. And like you told Riley, right, when as far as teaching her how a friend should treat you, how a friend should talk to you, how a friend should encourage you, not discourage you. When you pop in your shit, your friend's supposed to say, go ahead, girl, you know what I'm saying, not tell you that you can't do it or you could, you know what I'm saying. And that's good to instill in her at that young age, because she definitely at the age where it starts. You feel me? Where little girls
Absolutely.
start to ooh, why they looking at her? Why
Mhm.
ew, definitely.
Mhm.
Well, I'm speaking for the boy moms, cause my son, he's 6, and he be like, I'm my friend, and all that, and I'm the one. His daddy be like, yeah, that's your homeboy, all that stuff. But me, I'm just not that. Like, I'm not that. Birthday parties, it be family and friends, but actually having people from school coming and all that, I'm not there. They used to do it, but I'm not doing it because that mean I got to be friends with their mamas and stuff and all that, and I don't know them people. But yeah, that's what. Mm-mm.
Yeah. And this is definitely not limited to young women. We got to choose, our young boys. they have to be selective about who they're hanging out with, in the environments they're in, and what influences, they're
That's
around as
so
well.
true. Because they be jealous too. Boys be jealous just like females. It's on both
Mhm.
sides. They might be more.
Right. Okay. Shanti says, I tell my daughter everyone is not her friend. Be a better judge of character and not to always be ready to say yes to everything. My daughter is not even allowed to stay overnight with any friends. Yeah, I was real hard on that too. I was very hard on that when my kids were little because I don't look. First of all, look, it. I don't even want you. Do they have a brother? They suspect to me too. I.
Oh my
And
God,
that's
I just
very
had to
sad.
ask that question the other night. Riley was asking to go, have a sleepover at a friend's house. I'm like, does this little girl have an older brother? And she was like, yeah. I said, well, it's a no for me.
Yeah, you have to ask all those questions. And your kids be thinking that you're mean doing that, but it's like, no. It's just because you can everybody cannot be trusted. Like I cannot trust my babies with everybody. Like literally. You want to go stay night at grandma's house? That's fine. But yeah, no, I don't because you don't know what's going on over there. You look,
Right.
Right.
mom.
You see that story I sent you guys with the man drugging them girls?
Oh, I just saw that. Yes, it was a dad. His daughter was having a sleepover. As a matter of fact, let me find the story and we can go over. Let me read this. Okay, I already read that. Let me go over this couple things and let me find that. Deborah says my baby has always been just around me. She believes if my mama don't feel right about someone, it's got to be something off with that person. That's right. Yeah, your intuition. Deborah also says my sons are 20 and 18 years older than her and always telling their sister to watch what they say and who they hang out with. Yep. Voracious one says I was hard on my kids for sleepovers too. Yes, I don't like. I really have to know that parent to have allowed that. And mm-mm. Most people didn't cut the mustard. No.
That was good question. And my mama was that type. She didn't care about the siblings. She cared about the people that was coming in the house that, somebody's house and you just see somebody, no matter who they is, they may be there to harm you and stuff like that maybe, but you
Mm-hmm.
still spent the night over somebody's house. My mama don't know they traffic that they got going on in and out the
At
house. So
their
that's
house,
why.
yes.
Hmm.
Look. I don't know your mama. Your mama might got a boyfriend, and he might be crazy. Yeah, any damn thing, anything. You have to just be careful. You got to be careful and protect your kids. And then there can be family that I mean, I know that we were talking the main topic was the unaliving, but it can be other things as well. We've had talks before, like on Banger's channel and stuff like that, where you have the family child molester. There is
So
such a thing. You have the
did you
family
hear,
child molester.
did you hear about the dad that drugged the three teen kids? That it was some girls that came over to stay with this daughter,
That's
and
what
he
Yep,
I
drugged
I'm
them.
trying to find that right now. Okay,
I
you send
yeah,
it to
that's what
me.
yeah, I sent it to you and I sent it to Coco.
Let me see. Now I see this one about Risa Tisa, which we can get into that. I don't see it, but I know I saw it just this morning. And just to go off the top of my head, daughter was having a sleepover, and the daddy started was drugging the dang smoothies and making the girls drink the smoothies. And I just stopped after that. But he was over there drugging the kids, staying the night, the girls.
Wow.
Hey, Nikki.
Yeah, and the one baby girl, she's didn't feel right, so she was pretending to be asleep, and then she texted her mom, told her she didn't feel right, and the mama was asleep or something like that, so she wound up calling her aunt or somebody or getting in touch with another family member and got them to come get her and said that once they came and got her to her house that her mother called the other parents and they all went over there to get the kids, right? And talking
Hmm.
about he gonna tell them that they sleep and that
Oh, I
he didn't
found
want
it. I found it.
to up.
Okay,
They
let me
said if you
show.
don't give us our motherfucking friends and they got their kids and got the hell on through, that's crazy. Yeah,
Here, I found it, you guys. Let me read
you
it to
got
you.
it. Okay.
So it says a 57-year-old father arrested for allegedly drugging 12-year-old girls at his daughter's sleepover, reportedly put the drugs into smoothies and forced the girls to drink them. It says an Oregon father has turned himself into authorities after he was accused of drugging three 12-year-old girls at a sleepover hosted by his daughter. According to Oregon Live, last August in Lake Oswego, Oregon, a girl decided to invite her friends over her house for a girls' night sleepover. It was all going well until the girl's father, 57-year-old Michael Maiden, came downstairs to serve the girls smoothies that he made himself. The drinks had tiny white chunks throughout and sprinkled on top. All the girls drank one except one girl, but Maiden insisted the girl drink the smoothie, which she ultimately did. Then Maiden made the girls go to bed. Once the girls were asleep, Maiden continued to walk down to the basement and check to see if they were sleeping by putting his finger under their noses and waving his hands in their face. He also moved one girl's arm and moved her body on the bed. The girl remained awake in fear that Mr. Maiden was going to do something to her friend. The girl said she felt Maiden standing and staring at them for a long period of time, but she continued to pretend to be asleep for her safety. When Maiden walked away, the girl immediately texted her parents to come pick her up at 1:43 a.m., saying, "Mom, please pick me up and say I had a family emergency. I don't feel safe. I might not respond, but please come get me." Crying emoji. Please, please pick up. Please, please. Her parents immediately came to get her and they contacted the parents of the other girls too. At first, Maiden told the parents to come back in the morning, but the parents insisted on getting their girls right that moment. The next day, the girl recalled she felt woozy, hot, and clumsy after drinking the smoothie and subsequently blacked out, falling into a thick, deep sleep that she had never experienced before. After taking a drug test, it was discovered Maiden drugged the girls with benzodiazepine, a depressant that slows down the nervous system. Oh my goodness. See? This why you can't let your kids go to everybody's house. Crazy ass daddy. That's
And where was the mama?
who knows.
She worked overnight shift.
She worked overnight, or she just over there. Which,
Hundred
if he was a
head.
single father, look, I don't mean no harm, but and I know it's bad to say it, but look, if it wasn't no mom over there, that's another reason I wouldn't have let my child go over there. No,
Right. Absolutely.
and I know that there are good single fathers, but yeah,
You just can't
no.
be you just can't be sure these days, you know?
And but you know what's so crazy? It's just and I'm sure it's not a new thing, but I can remember back being a kid and I literally my best friend, we would spend 3, 4 days at each other's house. I'm spending 3 night and you spending 3 nights, like, but that's how close, and our parents literally knew each other. Like we literally lived like paces away, so our parents knew each other, and even our parents were friends, so we knew each one of them knew what was going on at each other's house. So we didn't
Right.
have that type of craziness. But these days, you just don't know.
Just don't know. And you can't be too careful. Cause it be that one time, cause I know I tell Riley, I don't care where you are. If you feel you somewhere you not with me and you uncomfortable, call me.
Yep.
I don't care where
Yeah, I
she's
was
at.
one of them kids. Like somebody said, I'm gonna ready to call my mama.
Right.
Right.
Truth said, there's no way I'm letting my daughter spend the night with someone else dead. Right. And let's see.
That's
Nikki says
crazy.
stuff like this makes me happy. I was overly protective over both my children and didn't let my kids spend the night at people's house or family members either. That's what I'm saying. Like I said, I remember I specifically, like, shit, we had a family child molester. I've talked about this before, to where like we went, at a family get together, and I'm telling my baby daddy, don't let Shania um watch her because I don't want her around him, because people literally will let the family child molester stay in the family instead of running them off and not having them around, you know, they still there. Ugh. Okay, let's see what Evolving Media said. My friend's niece was the one who was killed or unalive. Oh, I got to get used to that. By her stepfather last week. What? She was 11. Pew pewed the mom too. She survived. Oh my God. Evolving Media, this happened last week? Oh,
Sorry to
I'm
hear
so
that,
sorry for
Bobby.
your loss. Yes, I'm so sorry for your loss. That is
Yes.
horrible. But the mom survived. Oh my goodness. Nikki said, you see, Nikki, you know what I'm talking about? We had a couple of them in my family also, Candy. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry to hear that about me. So, is there a dad in I mean, oh, wow. Send me the article. I hope your friend is doing okay if you said she survived. But man, I can only imagine how you as a mother would feel. You're surviving that, but your child didn't. Ugh. Deborah said
Hey,
back then,
Candy.
hmm.
Oh, hey, I'm sorry to interrupt you. It's Crystal. Hey, panel.
Hey Crystal, what's up? What you had to say? Go
Hey,
ahead.
Crystal.
When I was in a bike club, there was a guy that was in the bike club. He had been around. He was like kind of known for like having money or whatever. He was married. Um, we didn't see his wife and his kids too much, but apparently this guy was going through it. From what I heard from other bike club members, he was like really abusive towards her. She had a restraining order out on him.
Mhm.
He ended up driving to the mom's house. He even posted the same thing. He posted it on Facebook. He was on his way to her house. He said he was gonna kill her. And when he got there, his son, tried to stop him. He ended up killing his son, and the wife survived. And this is somebody that I had been around for a while, but you just never know. And then when I asked the guys in the club about it, they was like, "Yeah, we heard about him doing stuff like putting her in the trunk and stuff like that." And I'm like, "Why nobody said anything? Why nobody did anything?" So he ended up killing his son, and then drove out of town somewhere, said he was gonna kill himself on Facebook, and went to a hotel and blew his brains out. But it just goes back to why in the black community we always feel like, oh, that's not my business, or it's not my place, so I'm not gonna say nothing.
Let's stop right there, right quick, Candy. Right quick, right quick. I'm
Mhm.
at work, by the way, y'all. I'm piggybacking off that, Crystal, because last night after I left, we in the parking lot at the bar. One girl in there, I know these people in there, and one girl was like, "Damn, Deja, what you doing here?" Because they know I don't even go out. But the girl was like, "Watch him while I go over here, because I don't got time." So she not even trusting her dude right quick. We leaving the bar. I'm going towards the car and stuff. The same girl I'm telling y'all about, she talking about something, da da da, fire pepper spray you in your face. Like she telling him that. But you know how you get the part where it's just in me, like, wait, calm down. I feel like my voice, my tone, everything that I said to her redirected what she was ready to do outside and all that with everything going on. Because we in Petersburg, Virginia and stuff like that, if y'all was wondering. So, yeah, what I said to her meant a lot. And that caused friction with me and my fiance on the low because he wanted me to mind my business and just let somebody that I actually know, minus him. He told me to mind my business, like they ain't got nothing to do with you, da da da. But this is a female to female talk, and I felt like what I said to her was very powerful, and she damn sure did get in that car, and no pepper spray was sprayed or nothing, because she know that I am like a superior to her. She ain't number like 24, 23 or something like that. But it was
Mhm.
so good, and I felt good about redirecting somebody last night, but I still had to deal with that last night. So yeah, y'all. Thank you, Crystal, for saying that, because that touched me. I feel good. Sorry.
Yeah, well, yeah, because you hopefully prevented something or for something to escalate.
I did.
And you're definitely right, Crystal. We have to get out of that, not getting involved. Even though I know a lot of people, um, I know a lot of people don't want to get involved because, especially when it's an issue of domestic violence or anything like that, a lot of times when you get involved, you're likely to be the one that's hurt. And there's statistics on that. So I know that's why a lot of people choose not to get involved, but you still have to do what you can, even if you're just calling the police or something. So let me share this story here. This is just something real quick. I'm gonna try to get something more thorough, but here, let me share. And this is Evolving Media's family and friends. So it says Landover, Maryland. Police said an 11-year-old girl was unalived after her stepfather pew-pewed her and himself Wednesday night. The man also was unalived. The girl's mother was hurt. The Prince George County Police Department said officers went to a home in the 6900 block of Stansbury Lane around 9:30 p.m. after they received a report about a shooting there. When officers arrived, they found Malin Turks 11 and Curtis Lynch 38 shot. Medics took Turk's mother to the hospital with critical injuries. It says Thursday investigators were still looking into the reason for the shooting. Let me see if there's anything else here. Oh, here's something. Let's see. A shooting in a townhome community in Landover left 2 people unalived and 1 more injured Wednesday night. Um, when officers got to the residence, they found 2 victims, a man and a young girl suffering from gunshot wounds. Give me just a second. Oh, here's okay. Welcome, Evolving Media. Do you want to tell us about this?
Hey, well, I sent Miss Fit the picture of the little girl and another, I think, a news article from the news station, and yeah, it was some domestic, but she did have a mother and a father. It was the mother's uh boyfriend, but she had been with him for years,
Mm-hmm.
and like I think we said 7 years she's been with him, been with him. But the thing is that he had a criminal history or something, and they let him out of jail. He already threatened to kill the little girl, so he shouldn't have been out of jail, because I think I said the word again, girl. I'm so sorry. He unalived or attempted unalive somebody else, and he went to jail, but he's out. And like a few days later, I think it happened.
Ugh, that is just horrible. But you know
Mhm.
what? Oh my goodness. So, and this is not to place any blame, but mothers, mothers,
Um,
mothers, mothers. We got to be careful about who we let in our life. Because
yep.
if this man clearly had issues and was incarcerated and you guys are letting him back in. Now, did she willingly let him back in the home? Did he force himself into, I mean, what happened? Because something clearly happened.
Yeah, that I don't know. I can't remember where they said the parents were, but I don't remember. I mean, they didn't tell me all that. But my friend, the girl, her aunt, she's still upset. I believe today's her birthday, and she's like, she don't feel like celebrating, and she's not, they're really angry because he should have been in jail. Yeah.
Wow. And look,
Yeah.
Shanti said, this is what Shanti says. Shanti said, this is part of why I stay single. People crazy out here. I love my peace. Yes, Shanti, my peace and safety.
Yeah.
The saddest story I've ever heard was about a couple of ooh, it's been moons ago, years ago, where my people that I used to associate with, her cousin basically was unalived by the ex-boyfriend. Not only was she unalived by the ex-boyfriend, he first off he had been stalking her, and then he came to her job and picked her up, and the baby girl was in the back seat. So he unalived her first, and it missed and went through and got the little girl in the leg and unalived himself, and the baby watched it and she remembered it. That's the most tragic story that I've ever like come across. Now, so she was left with no parents and really nobody to care for her, and the cousin that I mentioned, she did get her for a while, and then after that, I'm not sure what happened. But yeah, you really have to be careful when you get into these relationships with whoever you with, because it's really vice versa. Because women just as bad as the men when it comes to that jealousy and the craziness. But yeah, that was the most tragic story that I heard.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to be very careful who, look, we're talking about friendships, we're talking about mothers. You have to be careful who you allow into your life, especially when you have children and small children that can't even tell you what's going on. And then even if you have children that are old enough to tell you something is going on, you have to believe your children. What's going on with the women that don't believe their kids? That are so, like, you have to be a woman that's so starved for attention in a relationship that you don't believe your kids when they're trying to tell you something, that something is not right. Ugh.
Candy, I would say that
Hmm.
mental health is real, and it started um, as far as with black families, being brought up. We was always taught, whatever happens in the house stays in the house. But I think, with the times or whatever, we need to get out of that. And then also too, if the man not gonna protect us, we need to at least protect ourselves. Whether you like somebody or not. I wouldn't, even my worst enemy, I wouldn't wish no harm to them. Whatever's gonna come is gonna come, but I wouldn't, you know, deliberately just because I don't like a girl, or you know what I'm saying, jealousy, or oh, he gonna take your man or whatever. But the reason why I said about black families is because I was SA when I was younger, and
Hmm.
my mom was SA, and I ended up getting therapy, but my mom didn't, because my mom's mom was like, she didn't believe her. Back then it was hush hush, you don't talk about that. But I think that the older that everybody getting, being quiet is a thing of the past. We need to start speaking up for each other, whether you like somebody or not. If you see something, say something. I would rather be too careful than not careful enough. That's just
Right.
how I am. And if I'm ever out somewhere, whether I'm with some homegirl, it could be a chick that I don't know. But if I see that she look uncomfortable or something, I'm gonna, try to walk up to her and say something. Because if we don't protect each other, who will?
Yep, that's part of, advocating for one another and being there for one another. And, just I don't know. I definitely agree with you. And that's what's so crazy when you hear about these cases where there's women involved in standing up by and letting this happen to another woman. That's crazy to me. Like, you let me be somewhere, and we're supposed to be having a get together and some crazy stuff is going. I'm getting that we are getting the hell out of there. I'm not staying there, and I'm gonna try to get you to go too.
Every time my daughter tells me she's going out with her friends, I just get so nervous. I'm like, who? Which ones?
Exactly. If you
What's
need it,
it? Who?
you gotta know
Yeah.
who. Yeah, tell
Yep.
me who.
Yep. Who you going with? Where y'all going? She tells me everything. Where they staying, this and that, what they doing, who she going with. Cause she know I don't play that shit. And she know I need first and last names. I look everybody up. Cause you ain't hanging with no criminals. And you ain't bringing no criminals around my grandkids. And so, I'm very she thinks I'm overprotective, but I don't give a damn.
No.
She's been good her whole life. She ain't been essayed or none of that art or nothing. So she's been good. I've been protecting the shit out of her. So I don't give a damn how she feel about that. I still do it,
Right.
and I do it with the grandkids.
Yep, they
You
can be
know.
overprotective if they want to, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
not on my watch,
Nope. Because
ain't nothing
everything
gonna
else.
happen to you as a child on my not on
Shit.
my watch. So
Because
you
I
can
know what
think, "Oh, my
happened to
mama,"
me.
right, you could be like, "Oh, my
Yep.
mama's mean," or whatever,
Yep.
but it is what it is. This,
That's what she used to think. That's what
right?
she used to think. I said, I don't care. They can come over here. You ain't going nowhere.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, because I went through so much, I said I'm bound to not let her go through. And it wasn't my parents' fault. I just wasn't my mother, just like the lady that was just speaking, she was SA too when she was younger. Her mother didn't believe her. And, she moved out and everything. They had a terrible relationship because her mother just, I don't know.
Of
So
course. Come
I
up on
didn't
the
tell
piano,
my
Deborah.
mother.
Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't tell my mother till I was in my 20s. So
About what had
I,
happened to you.
yep, when I was 11, I didn't say nothing.
Oh, no.
Yep. So,
And see,
yep.
oh, I'm sorry. That was me that was speaking about my mom. And I'm glad that I did tell her because I was scared
Me
to tell her
too.
too. I was 7.
Mm,
And
mm,
I
mm.
had originally told my brother first. And he was like, "Okay, Crystal, well, if it's for real, then go tell mom." And my mom told me later that her and my dad at the time was just watching something on TV about if something happened to your kids, whatever, if they come to you, just let them talk. So when I talked to her about it, she just didn't, have no serious, knee jerk reaction or anything. She just let me talk. But she ended up telling me later, Chris, I was the same age when it happened to me. And we didn't even know that we related in that way. But I'm glad that I did, get up the courage to tell her. The guy did end up, getting prosecuted and having he went to jail and everything, but I'm just
Wow.
glad that I did tell her, and it wasn't nothing but the grace of God that um gave her a template to deal with. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, after that happened, my mom kind of started dipping into drugs, and then she just went her own way after that. I think it was because she kind of, blamed herself because it happened to me, and she was like, "Oh, I should have been there." But my mom was a single parent and she was working like 2 jobs trying to take care of me and my brother. But the
Mhm.
fact that she was so accepting to me, that's what helped me. Like, she helped me get therapy and stuff. So I deal with it a little bit better than she had. But it all started from me just being comfortable enough to tell her that, having that relationship with her to, be able to tell her my deepest, darkest secrets.
Well, I'm glad that you were able to, tell her that, you know, um, she may not have known how to deal with it, but at least, you felt comfortable, especially given what had happened to her, and I'm sure she probably felt a lot of guilt if she never really talked to you. Did she talk to you as a child? Like, hey, come to me if anything ever happens, given what came to her? Did she ever have that talk with you?
Actually, no, not before then. Um, she didn't even know. Like I said, my mom was working 2 jobs. She was exhausted. My mom was the type, you go try to wake her up and you have to back up because she might be swinging when she woke up. But she was working really hard, trying to take care of me and my brother. And it was the people that was around her that she trusted, but she didn't know what was going on. So she had no idea of anything that was going on.
Okay.
And
All right.
we never had that conversation. I never knew anything about it, but something was just like, I don't think that was right. you know, because it always happened when, you know, everybody was asleep. I was just like, and when I told her, and my child, like, well, in my child state, you know, children, they'll tell you anything. They're gonna tell
Mhm.
you the truth. So I just told her, you know, like it wasn't nothing. Like it just rolled out. And but the fact that she didn't go, oh my God, Crystal, you know, because if she would have, I probably would have kind of closed up a little bit, like, oh, you know. But she just let me talk.
Mhm.
And then when I told her, she was like, okay. Um, she told me, well, Crystal, you know that wasn't right, right? And then we had that conversation. And then
Oh,
later on, as I became older, then she was like, well, you know that happened to me.
oh wow. Okay. All right. Welcome to the stage, D. D wanted to come and
How you
said that
ladies,
she had a story.
how you ladies doing
Welcome.
today?
Good. How are you?
I'm blessed. My story similar to well, it's an incest story. When I was growing up, my mama had 6 kids, only child, had 6 kids, and she was so protective of us. She didn't let us go out, didn't let our friends spend the night, didn't let us go. We couldn't go nowhere, couldn't do nothing. She wanted 6 kids, thinking we was gonna be the best of friends and stuff. But my brother started messing with me and my sister. And my mama, from the time me and my sister was 11 years old, she said she would never have another man because if he touched us, she was going to jail. She was going to unalive him. So she never had another man. But my brother was messing with me and my sister. I ran away from home at 13. My mama never knew why. But in 1989, I was 25 years old, and my sister had a drinking problem because of it. When I ran away, he kept messing with her, and I couldn't tell my mama because my mama was like, she would have went to jail. She would have unalived somebody if she had ever found out that somebody had messed with us. And to tell her that her son, her firstborn, so I never said anything. We was 25 years old. And my sister got drunk and told my mama. And my mama called me and I couldn't tell her. I couldn't tell her, so I lied. And my mama had a heart attack and stroke. And she was in the hospital and found out the truth and died when she found out the truth, what happened.
Oh my God. I'm
Mhm,
so sorry.
mhm. But in my family, it's like, I grew up in a small town in California, Santa Rosa. It's like, oh my God, everybody's related to everybody.
Mhm.
Everybody's, I didn't let my daughter go. My daughter has never seen me with a man, around a man besides her dad, my sons, that protective. Sometimes you can be too protective. You can be too protective. Kids run away because they think their parents are too strict. And I thought my mama was too strict.
Yeah, not knowing the reasons
The
that
reason
you
why.
are being that way. Yeah.
Mm. I
That
find
that's why, I really think that as parents, I know sometimes you don't want to tell, and I think sometimes it's because you haven't fully dealt with what has happened to you, but I do think that parents, you can't keep those things secret because your kids have to know, like, this is the reason why I'm being like this. And sometimes they may not agree with it, like, oh, you're just acting like this, that's not going to happen to me, you're being overbearing, but they kind of got to know where you're coming from a little bit, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
my daughter knows, and she's all my sons too. Always known why I've been protective, and
Mhm.
but I never let them go anywhere. Never let them go anywhere, do anything. But they're good. They turn out good. They turn out good kids. But I still deal with it. My brother passed away 3 years ago,
Mhm.
and I wanted to choke him, even though he was dead. I still wanted to choke him because it was like I never got that apology. I think that's
Yeah.
all I wanted was an apology. But I
Yeah.
found out after he passed that the reason I guess he did it is because somebody had messed with him.
Oh,
And he was a
wow.
big guy, always teased and stuff. I mean, big. My brothers are 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", and 6'7", but he was
Mhm.
6'7", like 400 pounds, and he was always teased. So I guess didn't think nobody wanted him. So the closest one to him was his sisters. And I used to remember, I would know when he messed with my sister because she'd have new clothes and stuff, and then he'd be mean to her when she didn't mess with him. Like, back then it was like, don't tell. I didn't tell my mama because I knew it would kill her. and they did.
So at what point did you ever reveal that to your parents?
I never did. I never did. My mama found out when she was in the hospital. When she found out she had a heart attack, and then she had a stroke when she was in the hospital. She
Hmm.
my cousin came and told her, and then she was gone. But on my father's side of the family, it's like, man, it's crazy. I stay by myself, and I like it like that. People crazy.
Well, some families, look, I have some crazy, I honestly, I mean, not that in the entire family, but have had crazy stuff happen in my family. Just like when I was, talking the other night, about my two cousins, and then we had the family child molester, and things like that. And I have cousins that have just been through some horrific things that are just crazy.
My
Families have
family,
crazy stuff happen.
yeah, it's a lot of incest, and it's a lot of DV, domestic violence, a lot. Like I have 3 cousins that's unalive because of domestic violence.
Candy, you know what's crazy?
What?
I think that a lot of us I don't have any kids, but I'm around the age that I should have kids. But once something traumatic has happened to you or somebody that you're close to, then you learn to stand on guard and watch people. But if you never had that experience, so the people coming up under us, whether it be your children or nieces and nephews or whatever, that have an experience that they don't know. So it's like trying to prevent them from something that they don't know, but and you know to be careful, but they don't understand.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Like my sister was going with this guy, and he was a stalker. He used to stalk her and jump on her. So I moved to Oregon, and I went and got her and brought her to Oregon to get away from him. And so he started going with my cousin. And my cousin knew that he was abusive to my sister. And she was like, well, he's not abusive to me. And he kept trying to get her. He found out that my sister was in Oregon, and he kept from Sacramento, California. He kept trying to get my cousin to come here, and my cousin got a foul mouth, just yell, scream, and they got into it. And he was like, well, you're not gonna go to Oregon with me. Watch this. And she was like, whatever, whatever. He left, came back, knocked on the door, and unalived her daughter, paralyzed her son, and paralyzed her.
And this is your cousin, all because she refused to believe what was going on with your sister.
Hmm. Yes, I got a lot of domestic violence in my family.
Mm-mm-mm. So let me read this that I had pinned up here. So Nikki said it was a girl who grew up in the same neighborhood as me. She was with this guy, not knowing he was a monster. He R-worded her daughter and gave the baby chlamydia, got locked up, then got out, and she, let me see, did she get back with him? Ugh, got back with him and gave her daughter away. She got back with the man and gave her daughter away. What kind
I
of
know
sister?
women
Ugh.
like that. I know women like that.
Yes,
Sad.
that will choose a man over anything, no matter what this man does.
This topic is still it is so relevant because who do we watch famously that do it
Yep, we already know.
all the time? Mm.
Let's see. Yeah, yep. We famously watched the lady. Whole family is just dysfunctional in this way. So let's see. Omadara says, "I black out. I never remember of until I was watching Z Bang one night. Everything comes back to me right now. I'm having a hard time dealing with it." Let me see. Did I miss you? Put something in here, Omadara. Okay. I'm not quite sure what you're talking about, but you must be talking about remembering something along these lines. So prayers to you. Not quite sure what you're speaking of, but yeah, it definitely happens far too much. Um, and we really start need to start just blowing the lid off all this type and not letting people um like even family members, they need to be exposed, they need to be called out, not just everybody. But what was so crazy when I talk about like my family child molester, um here, let me welcome Nikki to the stage. Hey Nikki,
Hey
welcome to the
everybody.
stage. Hey, but the crazy thing is, this person even went to jail. Like my grandmother turned him in for what he was doing. The man went to jail, and my aunt still wanted this man. And this is just the crazy part. Like, you can't be that hard up for a man to keep and continue to have somebody like this in your life, continue to have them around the family. But yeah, he even went to jail for this, and then he was still around. So we need to stop things like this. So welcome to the stage, Nikki. What did you have to add?
That I was trying to come and elaborate on the story that I put in the chat because you didn't understand, or
Yes, please do. Please, please.
yeah, she it was a girl that we grew up with, and she I don't know what was about him, you know, but it was like she just had to be around him. Only thing I didn't feel bad about is after you let this man do all this to your daughter, he gave her chlamydia.
Mhm.
Like that's not like something no little girl should have. She like was like 12 years old.
Mhm.
And it was like a big thing. And then like he got locked up, and when he got out of jail, she let him move back in. Like he didn't just was doing stuff to her daughter and just gave her this whole disease. And then it was, the little girl was uncomfortable because you this man and violated this girl. Why would
Yeah.
you bring him back in her space? So apparently, I guess she didn't believe her daughter. Mind you, the doctors and everybody, the police, like he went to jail, dummy. Like you know what I mean? Like what part of that
Yeah,
in
the
your
proof.
psyche don't you understand?
Yeah, obviously there was proof. He did this.
So being as though the little girl was uncomfortable with being there, she felt some type of way. So she just was like, "Well, you're not going to mess up my relationship and all this," and she just gave her away.
See, and that's sad because the baby ain't gonna be able to trust nobody in life. Like you,
Yeah,
your own mama.
but the thing about it is, Karma spent the block because that same dude beat her to a bloody pulp.
She left him then. And
Did she leave then, or she stayed
Yeah, after he done tore her behind up, then she left him.
after you've sacrificed the relationship with your
And
daughter?
then like her
You know,
relationship with her daughter is not the same anymore because like you let this man violate her, then give her a whole disease, then you put her out and gave her to some regular people, some people you barely knew to raise her.
and
And
how
then you
old
thought
was she?
she was 12.
That's a baby.
And then like for you to just do all that to think that she's gonna forgive you, like it's no amount of therapy, like it's nothing to get past that. Like she treats her like trash. Like she don't even look at her as her mother. And I don't
Mhm.
blame the little girl. Well, she's a little girl now, she older, but still. Like he took her innocence.
Yeah, that's awful. And these stories right here, these are the reasons when people hear stuff like this is why a lot of times, do you guys recall hearing, you know, in the black community, they always say that oh, black mothers hate their daughters and stuff like that, which I hate that narrative. But when you hear these type of stories, that's what kind of keeps that going. It's totally not true to me, but this is where some of these things come from.
I used to think that, and I'm not even gonna lie about that. Like my mom was a victim of rape, but until I start like, because I started going to therapy and stuff with her, and like to
Hmm.
understand her, because I never hated my mom, I always loved my mom, but I just felt like she loved my brother more than she loved me. Like she would baby him and just do all kinds of things. Even though I had my dad and my dad, was everything to me, and that's who took care of me and raised me. It was just like I was always yearning for her attention.
Mm-hmm.
But like through the years, because my mom, she been through a lot. She was on drugs for a long time. I helped her kick that in and out of jail. You know what I mean? It was just a lot of things that she went through. But she was always penalized, but not her rapist, which was messed up
Mm-hmm.
because the rapist was her sibling.
Oh, wow. How did she ever get any, I mean, did that ever come to light? Hey,
Yeah,
Heidi, welcome.
how I found out about it, because like, all right, my mom got 3 kids. I'm the middle child. I have an older brother, but I used to like ask questions or whatever, but I never could get like a straight answer about it. Cause like my
Mhm.
brother when I say my brother got his whole face, my brother has his whole face. So I used to be like, well, then why he look like, like why he look just like him? Like, and I thought it was, odd and weird. Cause they always was like, oh, his dad they made up a guy who his dad was.
But
And
it was
my mom,
really
she
your
was young when he was
uncle's
raping
baby?
her. Huh?
Was it really your uncle's? Is
Yeah.
your brother your uncle's?
Yep. And my
Wow.
brother, he suffered from like like kind of brain dead, and he has like diabetes real bad. So he has to be watched around the clock.
Mhm.
But he's older now, but he's a lot better than how he was, but he still has that retardation in him. You know what I mean?
From the incest.
Yeah. And then being though
Mhm.
my mom, she was a little girl, like, she was 13 when she had him, and but she was sent away to have him. And then and they made it look like my whole family covered it up basically. And
Mhm.
then my family like made it like, they tried to make it seem like, my mom was at fault for not taking care of him the proper way. But with 13-year-old, no, I had to take care of baby.
Yeah.
And then back in them times, stuff is different, how it is now. Then you didn't have like all them resources and and all that kind of stuff. So she fought a lot of demons, so I never held that against her. I always, tried to understand her and be there for her or whatever. We ain't had like the best relationship, but I always was there for her. Like whatever situation she was in, I was always there for her. Even like when she
Mhm.
was in her drug addiction, the prostitution and all that stuff. Like I used to see her and make my dad stop just so I can talk to her.
Mhm.
But one thing that I loved about it though, even though she was strung out and and out there, she always knew who we were. Like she never like didn't act like she didn't know who we were. But she went through like a lot with the family. And then like he's still walking around like he's the king, while everybody else is just like, oh, she's messed up. She never took care of her son. Why is she being penalized? Why is nobody, the elephant in the room? So
Yeah, the
I don't
person
even want to be
who did
around
something
them.
to her.
I don't want to be around them. I can't stand them. Like to see him in the room, like when he talk and stuff, it just make me cringe because I be so irked in his space, like literally. So I don't even really go around like that.
So, yeah, it it's so crazy to think that the amount of people that are forced to have to basically interact with their abusers,
Yeah,
especially
it's a lot.
when they're family members,
To the whole
especially
word,
when the
Candy.
abusers are family members. Yeah, that's so crazy. Um, the amount of people that are forced to relive their trauma because family members or the people that know aren't turning these people in. So you're basically forced to have to interact and be at family functions with your um victimizer, the person who's victimized you.
And then he's like so cocky and like he's horrible. He's so horrible to women. Like he got like a bunch of kids and don't take care of none of them.
Mm-mm-mm. Omadar said, I'm speaking on the same topic. Um, Candy. Well, feel free to click the link if you want to share your story. Hey, Tamika. And welcome, Heidi. Heidi, you just walked in. We're talking about well, we initially started talking about, these cases, the young lady in Alabama who was just unalive, um, where 8 people participated in her unaliving that were supposed to be friends of hers and things like that. So we was talking about that, how the case with Shanquilla, the girl that was in Mexico and was unalived by her friends, and her family got no justice. And then it just kind of evolved to other topics here that we're discussing. So
Okay.
yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, Heidi.
Hey, Heidi.
Yep. And you guys do me a favor and hit the like button on your way in, or take a second to hit the like button. I appreciate you for doing that. But anybody else have anything to add with this? I mean, I know it's kind of a heavy Sunday topic, but I just wanted to talk about this cuz I said, this is just becoming overwhelming, these people, and you have to be on alert. Everybody is not your friend. Everybody does not have your best interest at heart, and it's sad that we have to think this way, instead of you know, just thinking that everybody that says they're your friend is, you know, coming to find out not, or I don't know what type of hidden animosity they have towards you, that and that's what's happening, that I see a lot of. People are mad at you for reasons you don't even know what's going on. You don't even know what you did. They could have some type of jealousy towards you. You don't know what you did, and they're ready and using any opportunity they have to exact whatever type of revenge on you or anything. Even with this girl in Alabama just a couple days ago, they're saying, "Oh, something was taken from you." Call the police. If you feel like she took something from your house and stole something from you and you can prove it, call the police. But you lure them to your home to do what you did? That's crazy to me. Hey, Katina, and I bet you guys, if we were to actually know, okay, what do you think that this girl took from you? It's going to be so minimal. When it all comes out, it's going to be so minimal, something that was worthless.
Somebody
What?
said it was tax money. I believe, I tend to kind of believe that it might have been something like that. But look, it's 2024. We what, 3 months in? It's
Mhm.
spilling over into the entertainment industry. Look at what we're hearing about Puff Daddy. This is something that needs to be addressed.
Oh yeah, him essaying men and women, they coming
Right.
out of the woodwork. Hey,
So
Tamika.
Yeah, it's
it's blowing up
crazy.
now.
It's crazy.
It's time to
Hey,
speak
hey,
up.
on
People talking about Tyler Perry and yeah, you said Stevie J. Yeah, Stevie J. I even heard that one of Puff Daddy's son, Justin, even came
Yes,
out and was saying
accusation
something.
for me.
He's
Yes.
the young girls' ringleader. He's the ringleader for the young girls.
yeah,
That's
it's pain.
sad.
People are
Stevie
saying
J
enough
was
is enough.
with Faith Evans, though. That explains his anger when he went off on Faith.
Enough is enough.
Yeah.
So where do we
But have
give grace when it comes to, this is what I wanted to ask. This is a really good question. Where's the line that we give grace to females that have been going through it, still going through it, and then you want to blame them because they keep going back, but then when something dramatic happened, you just shocked and in awe. So where's the grace point?
I've
I
just noticed
rephrase
something
that a
in
little bit,
twen-
Crystal, because I'm
go
totally
ahead.
not getting what you're saying. Rephrase it a little bit if you
Okay,
can.
what I'm saying is, okay, we can talk about stuff that didn't happen to young black women, older black women, period. We can
Mhm.
talk about that. And even if we talk about that, we still have to address at a certain point, like just like with the Krishan issue, or with it might be one of our friends or somebody that we know. You at one point you kind of be like, well, you keep going back, so you kind of doing it to yourself. But then when something serious happen, we like, oh my God, where is the line drawn that we say, okay, we got grace for you, we feel for you, we want to be there for you, and then oh, you just keep doing what you're doing with my hands off of you. Because in order for that situation to happen with those girls, there was some jealousy and something involved.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I would also say it has something also to do with how the man was raised. Because if it was somebody that we would consider to be a good man, they would have stood up and said something and not allowed that to happen, right? Or at
Yeah.
least try to intervene, or at
I
least been willing to say something. But
yeah.
what I'm saying as a black woman, where do we stop giving grace at? To say, oh, they keep being out there, because essentially some of her friends or all of her friends or whatever was just like, oh, she gonna do what she gonna do or whatever. They just they wipe their hands basically. Cause I know I would have been the first one to tell. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know about nobody else, but I would have been dialing 911, whatever I needed to do if I felt like something was going wrong, whether I liked her or not. But where does the line get drawn as far as, oh, I want to help, or oh, I got to take my hands off because they doing it to themselves? Is that a little bit more?
Well, I mean, when you have someone that is telling you, "Oh, he's doing this to me, he's doing it," and you try to help and try to help and try to help. I don't know. I don't. I think that's where you're talking about. Where's the line being drawn? Because it's like, what can you do if somebody doesn't want to leave the situation? What can
Right,
you do?
right,
So, I mean, me personally, I mean, I'm never going to, if someone like finally has that moment where they're really deep into it and something happens, or look, he really whoops your ass, uh drastically or anything like that. I'm never going to be the one to gloat on the situation, like I tried to tell you this and that. But a little part of me, I'm not going to lie, be like, look, have I tried to tell you to get out of this situation? Like, what can we do in this? Are you going to listen now? I don't know. That's a hard spot, because when you see something happening and you try to tell someone, and you try and you beat your head against the wall trying to get somebody to leave the situation, at a certain point, if they choose not to, that's going to be their choice. you know I'm never going to, like I said, never going to be like, oh, try to get you, in a boastful way. But it's just kind of, for me, it's just, okay, it is what it is, and I hope now you get yourself out. I don't know. Did that answer your question?
yeah, it did. But that was just the point that I was bringing up. So even like with this incident that happened, I don't know if it's Kanika or Kanetta Jenkins, and the other girl that was from Charlotte that you was just talking about. I know her last name Robinson, but
Shanquilla.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Shaquilla. So in that point, what went wrong? What can we do to change that outcome? Is it that friends not giving each other grace as far as the females? Because the females was, I know in the cases that I saw, was harsher than the males were. Did did
I
y'all
don't
see
know,
that?
because uh, like, with this specific case, there are four men there and four women who are participating in this. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, I don't know. And watching, and these are women watching another woman being SA'd and
That's what I'm
sodomized.
saying.
That's crazy to me. Hey, Tamika, heavy on the Scott. Look, we're going to say once again, we are so sorry for you and Sade's loss. Our prayers are with you guys. And thank
Definitely
you for
sending
becoming a
prayers and
member,
strength.
Nikki. Yes,
Yeah.
thanks for becoming a member, Nikki. But this is I don't know. I just think our a lot of times our main village as women are other women, and that's just disintegrating. And it's sad to
I
see happen.
completely agree with that, Candy.
I do
Yes.
too.
Our main village as women is always going to be other women. And we just see it's just falling apart, y'all. Thank you for the super sticker, Nikki. It's falling apart, sadly. Oh my goodness. Evolving Media says this. They said one of the women essayed her too and was charged same as the men. Yeah, now, oh my goodness, I have deleted those, but yeah, we had all the charges up here. But I believe it because it was something very crazy happening, very crazy. And we don't know why they decided to do that to this young woman, but our prayers are with her, definitely. Prayers.
And her family. I know her mom
Yep.
is, yeah.
And just to have people sending video and things of that nature. So we just have to pray, we definitely are in a time of prayer, um, because what's that you said, Fit? Look, it's some demonic things happening, and
Yes, dark demonic things happening there, targeting us as black female.
yep.
You right.
Now T said it was over a baby daddy, and these are the type of silly, silly things that we are killing each or unaliving each other over somebody's baby daddy, and most of the times it's somebody's deadbeat baby daddy. So I don't know. It's
It's a lot.
it's a lot. It definitely is a lot. It's a lot. It is very heavy and dark, but it has to be talked about because it definitely has to stop. Like it has to stop somewhere. So, and that's
Yes,
gonna
it
come with everybody being aware. And it's sad, but you got to be aware of your environment. You got to be aware of the company you keep. When you hear somebody talking and making little crazy comments, you got to kind of take those to heart. Like, okay, this person, I thought they was cool, but they sound a little off. No, I better, just like they just said, yeah, I better drive my own car tonight so I can get the hell out of here when I feel like the vibe ain't right, you know?
Candy, you're saying exactly, like, not exactly, but almost word for word what I was going to say a minute ago. Like, today, people that are per se woke, people that are eyes open and not just living through a tunnel, you can see those signs. We just tend to ignore them as far as friends wise. Um, Friends, that's that's a big word, and that's really a misused word today.
Mhm.
Everybody's friend, because I even do it at work. Hey, friend, just because we work friends, you know what I'm saying? But we're not outside friends.
Mhm.
That wouldn't be my friend. You know what I'm saying? My real
Yeah.
friend. So it is thrown around the wrong ways. It is used just to greet people now. Like, it's crazy, but um I just I can't even get the words. Like, it's losing friends today is almost like a blessing.
Mhm.
It is a blessing, but I'm saying before you lose friends, you be like, damn, what, like you said, what did I do? What did I do to deserve this? And then you sit back and you be like, damn, I see what I did.
Right.
I dodged the bullet.
Right.
If we
Okay,
just open
Omadara,
our eyes.
you're gonna have to put the link to the StreamYard in a new link because you it's showing devices not connected. So leave out and come back in. Put the link to the StreamYard in a new Google tab and try to come in.
I'm gonna go back down to the chat in case somebody else want to come up.
Okay, okay.
All right.
And have a good day, Deborah. Deborah's out, you guys. So yeah,
Later, Deborah.
All right, later.
yep. You just got to be careful. You just got to be careful, you guys.
You gotta
Everybody, you got to
tread
yeah,
lightly.
tread lightly. You got to talk to your kids, girls and boys about the friends that they keep, who they choose to hang around with, and who they choose to give their time with, because you know it doesn't even have to be as serious as being unalived, but that's how serious it can get. But it can just be a fact of just somebody getting you in trouble, being in the wrong environment, the wrong place at the wrong time. Okay, there you go. That worked, Omadara. Hello, welcome.
Hello, hi, good afternoon, everyone.
Yes. So you were telling us
Hello.
something in the chat. Did you want to expound on what story you had?
Well, I'm at work now, but I just want to tell you a little. My dialect might be different because I'm from a different country, but something like that happened to me. I was like 12 years old, and
Mhm.
I could not have remembered it until one night I was watching a Zibana show,
Mhm.
and y'all had a topic concerning that too, and that come right back to me. Believe you me. And I called my mom and I told her, she said, why didn't you tell me? I said, Mom, I couldn't remember. I could not have remembered nothing about it, nothing. So
Oh, but
things
you
like
know,
that
Omadara,
do,
that happens. A lot of times if it's something traumatic, children will block something out. And so you're
yeah, and
saying
I'm,
that you blocked it out and then you remembered
yeah,
while we were
to
discussing
believe
it?
you me. Yeah, believe you me, I'm 50 years old now. And now I remember it.
Wow. And so
So
you
it's
told
like,
your mom, and did your mom believe you
yeah,
even
she
though
believed.
Mhm.
She believed. And it's like, she tell me why didn't I tell her? And she want to like get down to the issue. I said, no, I don't want to go back to it. I just want to deal with it. Right now I'm trying to go see some therapists and stuff like that to see how I deal with it. Because
Mhm.
it kinda heart wrenching.
Mm. But you know what? Now that you remembered it, can you see, like, okay, granted I had blocked this out, but do you see in different areas where it affected your life growing up in your
Yeah,
adulthood?
yeah, yes, it affects my life. And that wasn't the first case. I think that was the first case, but I have another case where I remember that vividly, but this other one I could not have remembered that one.
Mhm.
So due to that now that affect my marriage life, relationships with people, because you get a relationship with somebody and you tell them what's up, what's going on with you, they don't care. And they want to throw it in your face. Things like that. And it's like you just living, you just sailing through life,
Mhm.
looking after kids and juggling and working. So I want to thank you guys for your platform. When you guys come to Vegas, I'm going to come and meet you because I'm living in Vegas.
Oh wow,
Okay, that's what's
okay.
up.
That's
Yes,
wonderful.
yeah. I'm not from Vegas. I'm from Guyana. I'm from the Caribbean.
Oh,
Okay.
So
Guyanese.
yeah, I'm a Guyanese. So when you guys come to Vegas, I'm
Connect.
gonna come and meet you.
Yes,
I'm
that's
at
wonderful.
I'm at work now. I'm working at the hospital. So I just want to talk to you guys a little.
Well, thank you
Okay
so
then.
much for coming up. We
Yeah,
appreciate that. And you know, and I'm
Yeah.
thank you for your
glad that you
platform
are
and thank you guys for your platform and thank you guys for the way you guys hold Christian down. I really love that. I really really love that because somebody needs to like lift her up. Within everything, somebody needs to lift her up, and you guys are gonna lift her up. You got like you, Henny, you guys, Henny. Another channel I listen to, the rest just trash out. I don't listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
So okay then.
Well,
See
thank you
you
for
guys
coming
later.
in, and I
I'm
will
gonna.
definitely let
I'm
Banga
so
know
happy that I
that
get to
you
come up.
joined us today.
Yeah, I'm so happy that I get to come up.
Yes.
I am
Don't be a
going to.
stranger either.
No, I won. I bill a man or a bill ahead. Okay,
Okay,
then.
well,
I
have a
need
good
some
remainder of
pads.
your shift.
Have a good one.
Same to you.
Okay, bye,
Ladies, big
Omadara.
love. Never the little one.
Yeah.
Bye. Okay then.
Wow. Okay, bye, Omadara.
Bye. Did you take the vitals for me?
Okay. Well, that was nice. Just even hearing from new people, and she lives right out there in Vegas. So yeah. Oh man. So you guys, look. Um we're almost at 2 hours. Look, y'all know I'll be here for a good time, not a long time. But now, Fit, did you want to do anything on Banger's channel?
Well, I think we're gonna do members only later, but yeah,
Oh, do it later on.
yeah,
Okay.
probably later on I'm gonna charge up.
Okay. Well, you guys, it has been a wonderful conversation, insightful. Um, if anything, my hope is just, you know, we hear about these things so many times, you guys, that they don't even stick with us. And that's the sad thing about it is that we hear about these things so often these days that we don't even remember it, and it's quickly gone from the news. But of course, these people's family, like this young lady where this just happened this past week, her family's forever affected. This lady, yes, she was 20 years old, but she was a 20-year-old mother. That child no longer has a mother. That child's life is forever impacted. And next week no one will be talking about this. And that's the sad thing about it, is that in a week, nobody is even going to remember this young lady's name or what happened to her. It's going to basically be on her family to keep, um, her story alive and to get justice for her. In this particular case, I'm so glad that it was so swiftly done, and that it seems as if everybody that took part in this has been arrested and are in jail with no bond. And I hope they stay that way. And I hope that her family gets every bit of justice that they deserve. So, but I just want everyone listening, all of us, our families, Z-Banger families, even we got to talk to our loved ones. We got to talk to our kids about being careful, and being aware of their surroundings, and us ourselves, because you just never know when people have nefarious intentions, and that's sad to have to think that way, but we do. So thank you, Crystal. Yes, we definitely we got, look, we can play all day, but we definitely got to talk about some serious stuff too, just to keep everybody good. Okay, so thank you guys for joining me today, and we will be going live later, members only, over on Banger's channel, and have a little fun there and check in with everybody. We definitely had a good, we had a funny conversation on Twitch, so you guys got to hang around for the Twitches too. We had a good time, and we will see you over there. I'm not sure exactly on the time, but make sure you have your notifications on for when we go live over there. And it has been a great time. Thank you guys for all joining, and we'll
Thank you,
catch you on the
Candy.
next show. Yes, yes, yes.
I hate that I made
Later,
it late, but thank you.
y'all. Hey,
Y'all.
they call it candy. Later, y'all.
Bye, everyone.